Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is what to do when you feel like your life is falling apart. I know how this feeling feels and I'm very sorry that you're going through this, but you have to understand is everything that you're going through right now, you need to be grateful for. And I know that that sounds really, really hard, especially coming from somebody who does not know what it is exactly that you're going through, but you're going through this really, really hard time because you asked God, you asked for a gift, you asked for strength, you asked for wisdom. When we want to excel our lives, okay, we have to prepare for the intense change. Like we can't just say, hey, I want to be wiser, I want to be stronger, I want to be smarter, and then think our life can just go, we can go about our life with no pain. No. How do you become strong? How do you become wise? Situations, hurt, pain, like it grows us into the most incredible versions of ourselves. So here's what we need to think about: your aura. And I'm going to get a little spiritual in this video because I believe massive life changes, like when your life is going really, really good or when it's going really, really bad, like these are all things that are a very spiritual thing. And aura is so powerful. Aura is the thing that you meet somebody, you don't know what it is about them that you really, really like or really, really dislike. The interesting thing about an aura is no matter how much money you have, no matter how gifted you are, no matter how talented you are, it's something you can't fake. Like people, I see them go through life. You'll meet people who have never really struggled and they think the world of themselves. They're confident. They're confident without depth, right? So like it's interesting because you can fake, and in my opinion, you can only be so confident when you've never really experienced life fully. You don't know pain, you don't know how to predict people's moves, and it's impossible to be extremely confident when you can't predict all of that and you've never suffered. So, truthfully, like if you're somebody who prays for confidence, be prepared to go through crazy life changes. You're getting what you prayed for, whether you prayed for it or not. Say you're somebody who did not wish for any of this to happen and you feel like you've lost everything. You have lost everything because you are going to get so much. What you have right now is not making you happy. And good for you. You are not going to settle. You are meant for so much more. But going back to the aura, so it's what we radiate. It's the one thing that truly it's internal that you have to work on to have a beautiful aura about you. And something that makes you so attractive in your aura is not being desperate. Say you're in a relationship or you have a friendship, right? This person is not appreciating you. They're not valuing you. If you stay in that, you are ruining your aura. You are telling people you don't respect yourself. So that is what you're going to exude out to people. It's a desperation of, I'm not good enough. I feel like who you partner up with and who you're friends with, who you hang out with is so telling how you think about yourself. For the longest time, I had friendships where I was very different from my friends. I did not do the things that they did. And I thought, well, I'm fine. I don't live my life like them. I can love them from afar and I won't be affected. Lies. You're always influenced way more than you realize. And their negativity is casted onto you. Whether it's negativity or you just don't agree with their lifestyle, right? And I call it negativity because there's a reason why you refuse to say you're like your friends. So you think that because you're not participating in what they're participating in, it makes you come out unscathed. Not true. Because everything a person does puts something out in the air, right? So if you're hanging out with someone who is not valuing herself, the types of men that she's going to attract are going to be men who don't value women. And you're going to be in that environment and you think that that's going to attract a man who respects women and values women? No. So we are not coming out unscathed. You have to protect your energy. And when you are around so many people who are not like you and don't radiate on your level, and you get influenced in the wrong crowds, although you're not participating, it doesn't matter, because their energy is, there's more of them than there is of you. And your beautiful light is like, it's getting overcrowded, because if you have 7 people around you and you're like in the middle, how are you going to be able to shine? No, people are going to look at you and you're going to be in a lot of dangerous positions. I think there's a level of like, okay, you can hang out with somebody and care about them from afar. Maybe every once in a while have a dinner, which I'm starting to get to a point where I've learned, no, it affects you way more than you realize. When you're surrounding yourself with negativity and desperate people, although that's not your energy is going to get confused. And talking about what you're radiating to people, what you're sending out to people, your beautiful energy, the negative spirit, the devil, I'm going to call it the devil because it's the devil, okay? Like, this is a spiritual video. He wants to overpower your beautiful, good energy, and he will. How is he going to do that? You can be the strongest man or the strongest woman, strongest person in your beliefs, but he knows I'm going to make them confused. So what do we do when we're confused? When we start to think, maybe they have a point, or maybe, it dulls your energy, it dulls your sparkle. Like, I can't say this enough. It really, really does. So your aura is everything, okay? You're in situations where you're not being respected, cut it off. Cut it off. I know it might feel like the hardest thing in the world, but I promise you, you staying is what's making your aura not attractive. What's so interesting to me about auras is, like, you can't fake it. Like, if you really, really let yourself study a person and why you like them, if you really like them and you barely know them, that is aura, and it doesn't lie, and it will not lead you astray. It won't. So that's why you should want your aura to be so top notch, because you want to be there, so you attract. I think so many of us are at a point in our life where, if you're not married, right, you're dating, you're meeting people, you're meeting new friends, you're constantly like, maybe you're constantly having new friendships and you're weeding it out. You're never able to find your person. Maybe the reason why you feel like you haven't found good friends, you feel like you haven't found a match, is because you're confused with your energy. You're radiating confusion. You are not strong in your beliefs. Let me tell you something. You knew. You hit the nail on the head. When you were hanging out with that person, you knew you were different from them, but you sucked it up because you wanted friends, you wanted something to do. And I bet you it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And now you're sitting there still alone. It doesn't matter if you have hundreds of friends. You're still sitting there alone because they're doing crazy, and you're trying to have respect. You're trying to be there for them. And keep in mind, they're not going to like you too. Like, they might like you now because they like your light, they like your sparkle, but you stop agreeing with their way of living life, you're going to become somebody who's just a mom or a parent. And that leads into a whole other thing of, like, you're going to be giving so much of yourself in this relationship, in this friendship, and you're not going to be getting anything. So your aura, protect it, preserve your energy. When the time does come where you finally meet that person you're meant to be with, you're not going to be able to be like that person. It's taking a while for them to come to you because there's all of this confusion and negativity surrounding you. Cut it off. You're better than that, and I know you know it. And all you have to do is just be a little strong. You don't even it takes a lot of strength in the beginning, but that's where the devil tries to trick you so that you don't complete it. He tries to make the first 2 days really hard so that you fall back into your old patterns, because he knows right when you drop them is when you are going to be rewarded. Your life fell apart because God wants to give you so much, and he can't give us much when we're not even willing to throw out the trash. And here's the thing, and I do say trash because these people, were they there for you? You have to treat it like something you care about so much, because I promise you, the second you get selective with your friendships, with your relationships, where you're hanging out, what you're doing, you become so attractive. Your aura becomes something that people want to be around. Why? Because you walk into rooms and you give. People come to you for questions. Like they stop to hear you speak because you actually have something to contribute. You are not there because you want to be talked to. You're not there because you want something done. And you talk about, how do I become more valuable to him? Or how do I become a better person? How do I become a better friend? How do I become, even in business, like, if you're going into it constantly like, how can I be served? How can they help me? You radiate desperation. You radiate, what you're radiating is unattractive to people. And that's why people are not, you become so magnetic when you are somebody who walks into a room and you're like, and there's a way of giving where it doesn't deplete you. And you're going to have the energy to give in environments, in business settings, in anywhere you're at when you cut off the dead ends. I have had so many friendships where I thought, no, it doesn't matter. Like, even though they always complain to me about something, like, it's not affecting me. It's fine. No, like the second they left my life, and they will always leave your life, because I won't sit there and I won't let crazy happen. And like, you will hate yourself if you let it happen too. You might let it happen for a little bit, but you'll snap out of it, and then they're not gonna like you for setting them straight and being the mom and the parent, telling them what they don't want to hear right now. So they're gonna go whatever. So then you're alone, and then you realize it's gonna hurt maybe a little bit. And you're like, wow, I have all this energy. You have all this energy to pour into yourself, into your passions, into your hobbies, into the people around you. And that is when you become so attractive. The things that you choose to spend your time on are going to get your all. I think a lot of us are in positions sometimes where we feel like we pour so much into things and we're not seeing it come back to us. It's because we're exhausted, we're depleted. If you find that you're in that situation, analyze your friendships, analyze the relationships in your life, or hey, your life completely changed. Be glad, be so grateful, because there were serious things wrong. There was things wrong with your life that you didn't want to come to terms with. And I really always say is, God heard things that you did not hear. So even though it might be a relationship that you're really sad about or struggling with, or a job, whatever it is, do you truly want to be somewhere that was so easy for you to lose? No. You don't want anything that's not meant for you. Why? Because you're not desperate. Because you are so valuable. You're the most... And you need to look in the mirror and you need to say that about yourself. You need to find 3 things every day that you love about yourself and say it over and over again, because you bring value. Stop telling yourself you don't. You might say, no, I don't tell myself I don't. I motivate myself. No, you don't. Not if you're hanging out with people who don't value you. You're not. Hang around people that help reveal things about you. And if you feel like you're in a place where you've lost a lot of people, and you're sad, don't be sad. Don't be sad because they weren't giving you what you needed. And now you're going to find people who will give you what you need. But right now, you just need to take the time to yourself, okay? Get to know yourself. Learn to love yourself. There's so much to love about you. Like, just even thinking about how you came on this earth, like everything that broke down, the moment, the second, like, you are a miracle. You are meant to do great things, and you're not going to tap into all of the great things that are actually going to make you filled with life and make your aura so beautiful. Like, your life starts changing when you start cutting off the dead ends that aren't meant to be there. And it makes you strong. It makes you strong. You sit there, you pray for strength. Well, here you go. You got it. Okay. Doors abruptly shut, and more are going to open as long as you're patient. Okay. So please, guys, please be patient. I know it's like hard, but you got this. The other thing too is they call it quantum training. And the way this works is you go into a room. Say you have a business deal or you're going out on a date, like whatever it is, you need to think before you go into that room. Best case scenario. So say, I'm just gonna use a business meeting, for example. You're gonna say, hey, okay, so I wanna do this business meeting and I wanna get this client. You need to sit there and you need to think about, okay, everything went above and beyond. It went incredible. They signed right then and there. And then you need to think about that feeling of how you're gonna feel in your head when you know they signed. And you go into the meeting with that feeling. When you tell your body, oh, this is how I'm going to react when I get what I want. When I get that deal, when I close that thing. It is such a powerful thing because why? That is what you're radiating. That is what you're sending out to the people sitting there in that room. And that's what makes you valuable to them. You're training your body to see best outcomes. So when you walk into that room, that's what you're radiating. And that is something so powerful. So powerful. And that's what makes you valuable. And that's what's going to make a business owner, whoever it is, I need this person. I need this person. This person has faith in themselves. We don't realize how much we self-sabotage ourselves. Like, the worst thing you can do is, and I get it, we all have bad days, especially when you feel like your life is falling apart. It's the hardest thing in the world, but being a victim is the worst thing to do. Yes, be sad about it. Be sad for a moment, a few days. Honestly, a few days. Like, unless it's like a serious loss, that's a whole other thing. But for the most part, people get sad about, like, they're dealing with a lot of internal mental issues, breakups. You know, everyone talks about the threes. Everything happens in threes. It's sometimes like it'll be a death, you lose your job, and a relationship all in one, which is, we're not even going to touch death because that's a different thing. But the relationship loss and the job loss, I know what that's like. I know what that's like to have it all at once too. And sitting there and being sad about it, no, I refuse to do that. I will get mad before I get sad. And here's the thing, maybe you're like that too, but we're not seeing the point then. Like, the fact that you're going through all this, you need to say thank you so much, God, because He heard your thoughts. He knows you so well, and He wants to give you what is inside you, what you want, what you won't even admit to yourself that you want. He wants to give it to you. So be glad, because this is what He's showing you right now. I heard you, and this is what's going to happen. Oh, we're mad? We're mad that it stings? We're mad that it hurts for 2 days or a few weeks, whatever it is. Honestly, it really shouldn't hurt longer than a month. Like, if someone breaks up with you because they don't want to be with you, or you lose a job or a client, whatever it is, like, you really can't get mad longer than a month. Like, I mean, I get it's hurtful and you know, whatever it is, but no. Like, at that point, you want to be a victim and you want to be coddled. And if that's something that you want, you don't want to get better. So stop saying you do. Don't watch this video. Don't waste your time. Don't do it because you don't want it. Instead, tell yourself no. Tell yourself no. I have the discipline. I have the self-control. And I'm meant to have great things. Have faith in yourself. The reason it's so important to think like somebody who just closed that deal, somebody who just got what they wanted, and train your mind with that whole quantum theory, is because it teaches you, I am valuable whether they want me or not. And that is the most powerful thing to have. So a little while back, I was in a situation where I was extremely uncomfortable. And we all get in moments where it feels very heavy, like kind of like your whole world's falling apart, and then like you're in public, you can't react, but you feel like you're on the verge of having a panic attack or having a freak out. I was on the verge of freaking out, and I was praying to God throughout the whole few hours I was in this position where I could not react. I was praying to Him, like, please make it go away. Please take the anxiety out of my stomach. Like, please, God, like, please stay with me. Please let it leave me. I said those two words, basically, stay with me and please take this pain away from me. And there are times where God will come in and actually take the pain away. I've experienced it. It's the most miraculous thing. But then there are also times where you're not. And the funny thing is I got through it, okay? I didn't freak out. I got through the whole thing. And I sat in my car, and I remember feeling so proud of myself. I did it when it was hard. And then by the time I got home, I felt so strong and so powerful. And I had faith in myself. And then I carried it with me throughout the rest of that like hard time. You'll start to do things that build that faith in yourself. Welcome those opportunities where you prove yourself wrong. And I didn't realize it at the time. It hit me a little bit later, but I had asked God for strength. God wants to make me strong. God wants to make you strong. You want to be successful in life. You want to be wise. You want to be valuable to people. You have to go through this pain, because you are not going to be those things when you do not know what it feels like to go through and push through with God when it's hard. When you learn that you have the power to do it with God and you don't need to have the emotion removed, you're still gonna fight and push through and have fortitude. That is what will make you push through anything in life, and that gives you tremendous faith in yourself and everybody around you. That's what you're going to radiate. Your aura is going to be so secure and powerful and magnetic. This is how we become so successful in life. So if you're somebody who says, hey, I want the best things out of life. I want a great relationship. I want a great career. I want all these things. Yeah, you want all those things? So be prepared to fight for it, okay? Fighting for it is having faith in yourself and not being scared, not running away, not going back to people who don't value or respect you or things that left you because it's warm, it's comfortable, it's familiar. No, be strong. You want to be your highest version of yourself, then fight for it. Nothing, when you get it easy, is ever worth having. And honestly, I dislike people, and you should dislike people who say they want these characteristics but aren't willing to work for it. Oh, I want to be rich. They're the worst types of people, because they're the types of people that when they get everything that they want, they change. They change. People think they want what they want because they're so swayed by an aesthetic, by a reality that they've made up in their head. And then when they have it, no. Fight for it. Embrace it. Embrace the pain. Like that situation where I felt like I couldn't handle it. I was on the verge of, and I made it through. It was pain. I felt pain, so much pain, but I got through it. Embracing, learning to embrace the struggle and the pain. Yeah, your life is falling apart. Yeah. Embrace it. Don't be afraid of it, and believe in yourself. Believe that there are so many things meant for you. There is a better life that is waiting for you. So have faith in yourself. Have faith in God. Have faith in better things are coming your way. I promise you, like even if you just, the one thing you do, if you take anything away from this video, know that it left you because it wasn't meant to be, and do not disrespect yourself. Work on your aura, and what you get from that point forward will be meant for you. And it'll be your peace. It'll be everything you dreamed of and more. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.